Hi there, I'm Lyndon Thorpe. You probably know me already if you've attended earlier events. This is the Escape the 9 to 5 Grind, as you can see up in the corner there. And my consulting website is lindythorpe.com. And you can see down in the bottom corner my logo. Today, we're coming to the end of these events, the first cycle anyway. But I'm going to be continuing. The only problem is the day may change. I think we're going to be recording on Tuesday instead of Wednesday. Anyway, we'll give you plenty of notice about that. Today's event is event 12, and the title of the event is Compromise and Sacrifice, are they really your duty? Okay, now you may be intrigued by this title. I deliberately made it intriguing because it opens up a whole area about the conspiracy of work and of, in general, of living. We are conditioned to make sacrifices, especially in Christian and Muslim countries. And we're also conditioned as children to always compromise and always put other people first and so on. Well, that's great, but if it means that you're totally neglecting yourself and your passions, it's not great. And that's why I'm here to talk about that to you. So compromise and sacrifice, are these your duty? Okay, event 12, as I said, let's go further in. And to begin with, I've given you some images here to try and evoke the kind of process that maybe goes on inside your head sometimes, when really your heart is telling you to do one thing, but social voices and pressure from outside are telling you to do another. And because of this, our recent generations have lost touch with their true nature, and that means with their true skills. If you ever get the chance to be with ancient indigenous people, as I have on several occasions, you realize that they have all sorts of skills which we have lost. They're psychic, they're telepathic, they can visualize, they have visions. They're incredibly wise. And we have lost that wisdom because of the domination of societies, huge populations, and also our style of living. So yeah, this is what maybe sometimes happens to you when your heart is telling you to do one thing, you really want to do something passionately maybe, and yet you're moved by other people's opinions and disapproval, and you compromise that. You compromise your values, and you sacrifice your happiness. Yeah. So I'm here to tell you, you don't have to do that. Doesn't mean we're going to become a race of hideous, aggressive people, selfish people at all, because we combine it with compassion. We combine it with gratitude. And in earlier events, I've talked a lot about these things. So yeah, if you get a chance, please go back and look at the earlier events. So, as usual, just to get you started thinking about this, here are some questions to reflect on. What kind of sacrifices are you making? Well, maybe it's difficult to bring them to mind right now on the spot, but, you know, during my short presentation, please think about that. What kind of compromises are you making right now? Think about that in your day to day. Have you compromised your values at all? I can assure you, you have. And what is stopping you living your ideal life? Escape the 9 to 5 Grind is all about moving you through different mindset transitions, and different trainings into a place where you can live your ideal life. I've done it. I'm doing it right now. My mentor is Michael Cheney, multimillionaire. He's an incredible mentor. He's pushing me towards success. He's really determined that I will be successful. And I want to be a millionaire. That's my goal. That would be my ideal. And not for selfish reasons, but so I can make a difference in the world. Yeah, like he is doing. He is leaving his legacy to his apprentices. I'm an apprentice of his. So he's teaching me what he has learned over the last 25 years so that I can hand it on to you. So spend a little time. If we get a chance, we'll talk about this in smaller groups. Okay, so think about those questions. Moving on. Okay, now this is one of my favorite quotes at the moment. The purpose of life is to be happy. It is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well. I love this quote. It's Ralph Waldo Emerson, an American philosopher, 19th century, and he had some wonderful ideas. He's largely neglected and forgotten now, but occasionally his quotations are really memorable. So, what stops us? Oops, sorry, my mouse is lively tonight. What stops us living our ideal life? What stops us? Let's look at these pictures you can see. Well, first of all, if you look at the first one, this rather scary picture of the guy with his head through a screen. Well, yeah, this guy is a technophobe. He desperately wants to be an internet entrepreneur, but every time he touches his computer, it goes wrong. He shuts it down, it crashes. He just is jinxed. So we call these people technophobes, and there are remarkably a large number of them. It's rumored through research that nearly 30% of people in the digital age with devices are technophobes. They can't do what they're desperate to do. So their ideal is to be able to run their business, their website on the internet, make some money, make a network, get an audience, but they can't because they're jinxed. Now, the lady next to him here, she is desperate to climb. This is Mount Everest here. She's desperate to climb, and she imagines herself climbing to the top, but she can't. She's too scared. Yeah, it's very scary. I've been almost to the bottom of that peak. I was in Nepal for a while, and I really wanted to get to the top, but there was a huge avalanche, and I had to come back down. It was really scary, very scary. So, she doesn't live out her ideal because she's scared. But on the other hand, look at the people who have climbed Mount Everest successfully. That was their ideal, and they've realized it. So we can begin to see here that in order to live our ideal life, we have to put some work in. We have to do something, both to change our mindset if we're afraid or if we feel we're jinxed, and also to learn how to do what we want to do, to get the skills, to get the confidence, to get a mentor to help us. Okay, down at the bottom here, we've got this very unhappy looking single mother. She's got lots of kids. And as you can see, she is desperate to make money as a single parent. What about the future for her and her kids, How are they going to survive? But she cannot work on the internet because she doesn't have time. She can't afford a babysitter, and so on. So she cannot live her ideal life, but she knows what she wants. She's got her children. She wants to have enough money to support them, give them a good life, good education, travel, all the things that at the moment she has no hope in hell of doing. But she's very frustrated. And then the final picture here, we've got two desk slaves chained to their desks. And yeah, maybe you feel like this. They can't leave. They're too scared. They've got plans in their head, but they're afraid of failing. They don't have the skills. They don't have the money to get the education. They don't have the time to do this, and so on. So many things can stop us from living our ideal life. Might be love. Your partner may not want you to do what you want to do. Might be fear. Might be, fear of failure. It could be lack of resilience. Maybe you have the opportunity to live your ideal life, but you lack the resilience to overcome the obstacles, which are inevitable when you're striving for something ideal. Of course, they are. But if you don't have resilience or staying power, you can't overcome the obstacles and you give up. Maybe people are just idle, inertia, passivity. They're so used to having other people do things for them. They can't move forward, step forward, and be self-dependent. Lack of self-belief is one of the biggest problems I've come across in the people I've spoken to about this. You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe in your dream. You've got to believe in your ability. And then, some people are very unlucky. They don't have good health. They can't find the skills. They don't have anyone to help them. They don't have any freedom. They have no time. So there are many things that prevent us from living our ideal life. Whoops, going the wrong way now. Sorry. Now, I'd like to tell you a little bit about my life. You may know already that 2 years ago, I retired from a lifetime as a teacher, mindful teacher, mostly university students. You can see some of them here, and some of them here and here. Excuse me. I've dedicated my life really to empowering students, especially foreign students, with academic English. And when I retired, after recovering from a kind of state of shock and exhaustion and burnout, having worked so hard for so many years, I then began to recover and began to wake up and realize that I had totally compromised my values. I had sacrificed myself totally for the good of others, and I wasn't going to do it anymore. Yeah, now it was my time, my turn, and I was going to dedicate myself unswervingly to myself and my creativity. And I was going to build something wonderful and make a difference in the world. I'm a writer, actually. That's my passion. And you can see here one of my novels. I've managed during my very busy career to write 5 books, and two new ones are halfway through. Well, it's been very hard to do that. It meant sacrificing a lot in order to give some time to my writing. Now I'm free, so I can dedicate myself entirely to this. So it's, for me, it's heaven, and I am living my ideal life where I can finally bring to life, blow life into all the projects that I've scratched the surface of during the last 40 years. Yeah, amazing, isn't it? Don't get me wrong about my students, by the way. We had a great time. You can see how happy everybody looks. I loved them and they loved me. We had a great time and they learned a lot, and they're all doing really well. Many of them are still in touch with me, and they are so thankful for my work with them. Yeah, I had a lot of good things during that time. But now I'm in my element. This is my life, and I am living unswervingly devoted to my creativity. Okay. Now, over on the right here, I'm very proud here to show you my 4 websites. Maybe you've seen them before in earlier events or in the startup guide. I've created 4 websites since January this year. Yeah. And they are ranking with Google. They've got over 100 posts on them all. They've got 300 or 400 comments on them. And now I'm putting products on there, recommendations for products, which I believe in, and I'm making commissions from those. This is affiliate marketing, and this is one of the quickest ways and the most effective ways of making an income from the internet. So that's what I do, among other things. Excuse me. Yes, I've really been able to cover all my passions. Jambala Wealth is all about spiritual things. I'm a Buddhist, and so this is a Buddhist wealth site. And it's about using Buddhist teachings and strategies to create wealth and health and good fortune. Here, Millionaire Mindset Roadmap. This is about the millionaire track, which I am on. So it's a very psychological business site. It's about encouraging people to take risks and keep their ideas and ideals and visions alive, because it takes time to become a millionaire. It's not an overnight thing. You have to put work in. You have to develop your brand. There are many things you have to do before you can expect to make millions. It takes time and energy. You have to be committed to it. Flourish Right Consult here is a site dedicated to digital nomads and remote workers. I myself have been a digital worker in the past, digital nomad and a remote worker. And I'm offering lots of wisdom and strategies to help digital nomads to sustain their very difficult lifestyle. Yeah, it's not easy traveling around and trying to make a living, adapting to different cultures, time zones, diets, different diseases, and so on. It's hard. I've done it. I did it for 2 years. I was a backpacker for 2 years, 20 years ago. It was very hard. It was fabulous, but it was hard. And then finally, down here on the right, First Hand Life. Now, this is important for you because this is the site that's dedicated to newcomers to internet business, to the millionaire track, to spiritual strategies and so on. So I combine everything here really to help you set up your online business. Again, there are many, many articles. And if you look in the startup guide, you can actually access all my websites by just clicking on these logos. You'll go through to the website and you'll be able to have a look around. So please come and visit me. Okay, so today, compromise and sacrifice. I've touched on them. My message is don't compromise and don't sacrifice. If you want to be successful, if you want to be a millionaire, you can't. You have to be 100% dedicated to your mission, to your cause. It doesn't mean you hate people or you push people away. In fact, if anything, if you follow my methods and strategies, you become more compassionate because you need to really lock into things like gratitude for what you've got. You need to develop patience. You need to develop mindfulness. All of these things make you a better person. So this training, this whole event series has been to offer these trainings, most of which are free, to you, to not only realize your dreams of making lots of money and starting your own business, but also to developing yourself and becoming a better person, a more resilient person. Let me just briefly outline these in case you don't know about them. Up here, we've got Try Your Your First Digital Venture, sorry, is the title. This is a 6-step course, blended learning course, free. You can access it from the Startup Guide, which will show you the 6 steps to start your own website. Now, you may think, oh, I don't need a website, I've got social media. Well, it's not secure. Yeah, I don't know how many people recently have panicked and mailed me and said, oh, Facebook has just closed down my site. I've lost 5,000 followers. It's happening all the time because these huge, giant platforms are just getting unwieldy. They're getting so big and they're developing so many incredible rules. So they're getting so complex, you know. So you need a website if you're going to be totally secure in the future. I can help you with that. I've done it 4 times. Well, in fact, 5. I have another website which is devoted to this gentleman, Michael Cheney. It's my website on which I partner with Michael Cheney, and it's free training, 5 videos, training called the Anti-95 Income Plan. Maybe you've seen this on LinkedIn. It's getting quite well known now. This is free training. It's incredible training. And if you follow the 5 videos, which are all about how to master the financial side of the whole thing, I deal with the mindset changes, and Michael Cheney is the most qualified person I know to deal with the financial adjustments to becoming a millionaire and to becoming unchained from the 9-to-5 grind. So that's free. And if you do well with the training and if your mindset has been changed, he may invite you to become his apprentice, as he did me. About 9 months ago, I became his apprentice. Best thing I ever did. I'm learning so much. He is teaching me every day, personally, how to become an excellent marketer, how to make money from my marketing. And I'm growing every day through this training. Wonderful. So it's free. Take advantage of it. Okay? You'll find the link in the Startup Guide, which, if you don't have it already, will be mailed to you after the event. If you've registered for the event, you will receive an email with the Startup Guide. It's a link, just click on it, and you'll see everything I'm talking about there and be able to access it through the links in the flipbook. It's a flipbook, Startup Guide. Now, over here, I've made also a live e-workbook. Now, this is quite unique. It's a living document. You pay $9.95 for a lifetime license. It's growing all the time. I'm continuing to add videos, texts, trainings, mindfulness trainings, exercises, quotations, all sorts of things, inspiring images, quotes from my newsletters. And it's a constantly growing document, which I'll be using all the time for future events. These 13 events will continue on the 15th of October. We'll start back at event 1 again. So if you want to repeat them, please do. The events are free through LinkedIn, and you can also join me on YouTube. But I recommend you get this workbook because it means you can go into more depths into each event theme. I can only really beg your attention for 40 minutes or so through this presentation. But if you buy the workbook, you'll be able to go much more deeply into themes. You'll be also able to self-reflect. This is important. It's an interactive workbook. You can type in it. You can type your thoughts and keep a record of them and go backwards and forwards and add more. It's a great living document. There are workshops twice a week that are free, and you may prefer a smaller group to discuss and so on, rather than a presentation. You can work one-to-one with me. The price will be negotiated. I will coach you to become a millionaire, to do what I'm doing, to earn an internet income, to create a website or two, which will drive traffic to your offers. And I can get you started on that straight away. So, yeah, I'm confused. What should I do? What should I do? Well, the best thing to do, what I heartily recommend, is book a free 30-minute Zoom session with me. My Calendly link will be sent to you also in the email, follow-up email, along with the replay of this event if you want to watch again. And you can just book yourself in, and I will meet you, and we will discuss your situation, and I will advise you what to do next. Okay, now just to remind you, of these events, excuse me, yeah, we've had 13. Maybe you've attended some of them, or maybe none. So we started off overcoming the fear of breaking the 9-to-5 chains. Then we looked at gratitude, which equals true happiness. This is what you have to learn right at the beginning of this journey. Then your appreciation of your unique skills and qualities. There's nobody like you in the world. Goal setting, not just objectives out there, but internal goals. So this is where we not only look at what you have to do to set up a business, but we look at what you have to do to grow as a person and to become truly happy. Event 5 is all about an hourly rate, a paycheck. This is the right price for your passions and purpose. Yeah, you are forced into putting an hourly rate onto your essence. If you do your job well for your employer, you'll get an hourly rate of pay. But is it really the right price for your passion, your purpose, your conscientiousness, all of the qualities that you bring to the job as a good, sincere, hard worker? No, it's not worth it. I can show you how to put a true value on your passion and your purpose in this life, which will make you a rich person. Event 6, yeah, your digital ID. This is so important. You may be, as I mentioned earlier, you may have Facebook or Twitter or something. Not enough. It's not enough to make a difference, to have a presence. You need a website. Everybody needs a website. It's real estate. It's just like owning your own apartment or house. Nobody can take it from you. Yeah. And I've got all the means whereby to teach you exactly how to do that. Take a look at the training. In 6 steps, you can create your own website. Event 7, this is how to monetize your uniqueness. Okay, and this is all about how to identify your skills and your passions and your purpose and your unique qualities. And then we can monetize those, as I'm doing on my websites. Event 8 was all about your creativity, how to plan and sustain creation schedules so you can put content out. The only way you make money on the internet is to create content. Posts, articles, videos, quizzes, surveys, all of the things that you do that other people make, you have to do if you want to make money as a netpreneur. Event 9 is all about supportive communities and networks. Essential. My most supportive community is Millionaire's Apprentice. There are 560 of us now, and 24/7, there is someone there to share your problem or your celebration. If you've made some money, there's a teacher there to coach you, Michael Cheney will be there to comment on your posts and so on. It's the most wonderful thing in the world to have a like-minded, supportive community at your fingertips on the net. And digital networks, digital communities are the future. Yeah, UNESCO recently wrote a big report about this. The internet is our future. If we have any more pandemics, if we have any more wars, God forbid, any more natural disasters. I live in Japan. A big earthquake is predicted in the next, well, anytime from now on. We have our bags packed at the door and our helmets ready to run out to a shelter. Yeah, the world is falling apart. And, you know, the only thing that won't fall apart is the internet, because the satellites are out in space. So we're safe with the internet. Well, why not make it your haven for the future? Okay. Resilience, yeah, building resilience. You'll find lots of stuff on the internet about this at the moment. It's very easy to give up. I read a statistic the other day that said 4% of people who set out on an internet career give up after a very short time. There are hard obstacles to overcome. It does take time. It's not for the faint-hearted, but it's such a wonderful feeling to be dependent on yourself, to be able to overcome any kind of obstacles yourself. I can't recommend it highly enough. Event 11 last week was about health and wealth. Health is wealth, really. It's no good having lots of money if you are depressed or if you're not healthy. So they go hand in hand. Yeah, we have to be healthy in order to be happy. If we're happy, we're very much more likely to attract wealth, good fortune, success. If we're not healthy, we're negative. We put out negative energy. Negative attracts negative. Like attracts like. That's one of the major laws of the universe. So if you're not healthy, it attracts more bad health. Yeah, I can't underestimate or underline enough how important your mindset is in everything you do. Your mindset is everything. Your mind is you. And I've explored that quite a lot in these events. And so next week, we're going to be looking at how to live your ideal life. So this is all about, you know, how to set things up so that you know what you want, you visualize it, visualization. If it's done in the proper way with a mindful teacher guiding you, it will come true. What you visualize, you will realize. It will manifest. I promise you. I'm doing it all the time. Visualization is one of the most important skills. And I can teach you how to do that very quickly. And then finally, event 13 is all about leading up to the financial mastery. So we'll be going through all the mindset changes that you could have made during these events. And we'll be then getting you into the right state of mind to move on to Michael Cheney's training and the 5 video series, free video series that could get you into Millionaire's Apprentice. Could. He doesn't accept everybody as his apprentice. You have to be motivated. You have to be totally committed and prepared to work hard, to take action. He only wants action takers. So he rejects some people. That's why I've put all this training together, because I want you to become a millionaire's apprentice. I want you to live your ideal life. But you can't do that until you get the right mindset. Okay? So, yeah, how can you do that? Go to my Calendly link today, book an appointment, and let's talk about it. I can do a needs analysis of your present situation. And if you're still employed, I can recommend how you can gradually make a transition. I can offer you lots and lots of guidance to make your journey start. You've got to take that step. The first step, book an appointment with somebody who's done it. I've done it. I've taken that step, taken many steps. I can show you how to do it. Okay. So this event, event 12, compromise and sacrifice, are these your duty? Please think about these questions. How do you compromise your values in order to fit in? Of course, we want to fit in society. Of course we do. But how far do you go with that? How much do you neglect your own passions, your own desires? And how much do you sacrifice for other people? We're taught, put others first. Yes, that's compassion. But it doesn't mean we have to neglect ourselves. If we neglect ourselves, how can we really appreciate others? We can't be compassionate with other people until we're compassionate with ourselves. For me, being compassionate was quitting the 9-to-5 grind and doing what I have longed to do for so many years. Yeah. So please think about these things and make an appointment to talk to me. I will be able to guide you into the next steps so that you can benefit from my experience and support. I will support you and I will guide you and we can get started. Oh, and by the way, I need to tell you that very soon on the 13th, 12th and 13th of October, I am running a webinar. And that webinar is called One Day Digital Breakthrough. And this is all about making a website in one day. And I will take you through the stages personally. And at the end of the webinar, could take as much as 2 hours. Might take a little longer, might take a little less time if you have your ideas in place. In the mail you receive after this event, you'll be told about this upcoming webinar and you'll be able to go and have a look at what I'm offering and join me, I hope, on the 12th and 13th of October, not far away. And you'll see also advertisements on LinkedIn too. So take a look. It's called One Day Digital Challenge. And you'll have your own website up and running by the end of the webinar. There are 2 days. One day, Saturday, is for GMT people. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. And then the Sunday, the second day, is catering for the US, East Coast, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and so on. And that's in the afternoon. So we'll put the times on the mail that you receive, and I hope you can join me. I'd love to work with you. Okay, so thank you so much. Next week then, please join me for event 12, which is called, just a moment, it's called, sorry, event 12, 13, I beg your pardon. Event 13, it's called Mastery Leads You Down the Freedom Road. Integrate to Dazzle. So I'm going to take all the trainings I've given you during these events, all the wisdom I've handed over to you, do a whistle-stop tour of it, and then get your mind ready to do the financial training. Of course, you can do the financial training right now if you'd like to. It's free. You can go and do it. Do it. You know, try it. Listen to Michael Chaney. He is an excellent speaker and communicator. If you're anything like me, you'll be absolutely impressed by him. Yeah. So go ahead. Try those videos. They're free. Okay? But above all, talk to me first. Book an appointment and I will show you those first steps. Okay. Thank you so much for attending today, for registering. and for watching the replay if you're not watching now. And I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you so much. Bye for now.